Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the USA. My name is... Well, I suppose my name really isn't that important right now, but what really is important is that we get the flock down to business. Watch of the week, Casio A100WE in the all-black edition. Perfect for everything you gotta do on a daily basis. Going to the office, going to the movies, going to pick up your ungrateful children from their goddamn ballet recitals, going to meet up with your wife so you can drop off the kids and you're gonna have a family dinner even though you don't like the new stepfather that your fucking bitch ex-wife married. Well, the point is, it's perfect for daily endeavors. Don't wear it to the gangbangs, don't wear it to the orgies, don't wear it mountain hiking, don't wear it diving, and don't wear it to anything that actually matters in your life that requires you being active and potentially sweating. Only things that require you being moderately stationary and stress and sweat free. It's not for flocking around, if you will. Flock around and find. Sorry about that. I'm a little bit sick. Partially why I'm covered up, partially because I'm hiding from the flock cameras, partially why I didn't give you my name. But the point is, I do have a little bit of a cold. I'm not going to take too long on this episode. I'm going to probably be jumping from topic to topic. I may even just read you the headline and go, damn, that sucks, and then go on to the next thing. The point is, we're not flocking around on this episode. I'm too sick to flock around and find out. Let's flock some shit up. Feel like John Cena. You can't see me. Lego Batman shit. So that's just more like a fucking, like a dick in my mouth. Just fucking, that's not even like a fucking Lego thing. It's just dick in the mouth. You can't see it, but I was sticking the tongue in the cheek. That was a tongue in the cheek and a bit. That's a huge dick, by the way. If there is anyone with a dick like that, don't send in any photos. Please don't. Send it into the Guinness Book of World Records. They deserve that more than... Or send that into Bonnie Blue, or send that into Adriana Chechik, or send that into some aspiring porn star, because I promise you they need it more than anyone around here does. But enough flocking around with the big penises. Rockledge man killed after being struck by SUV on Merle Road in Vieira. Sad. Crash happened around 9:40 p.m. Too late for me to care. Brevard County, Florida, a 58-year-old Rockledge man died after being struck by a sport utility vehicle while lying in the roadway early Monday on Merrill Road near Iron Gate Drive in Vieira, according to Florida Highway Patrol. So he was laying in the middle of the road. This is one of those moments where if your friends would jump off a cliff, would you? If your friends would lay in the road, would you? No. But why was he the one trying to lead this charge is the real question. Does anybody even care? Could this man have been suicidal? Could he have been addicted to drugs? Could he be a pedophile who's feeling remorseful for his actions? Probably none of those things. Probably all of those things. What the flock do I know? All I know is that this would have been stopped if there was a flock camera there. If they would have stuck a flock camera there, they would have recognized that there was a human there, and then they would have stopped all traffic, because that's what we use flock cameras for, is for stopping traffic in areas where we see that there are people laying in the road and where dogs wander into the road. We use flock cameras for meaningful things in this world, like stopping people from dying. Oh wait, no. I think we use flock cameras to catch people after they've died. That's the important thing that matters. Investigators said a 2015 GMC Acadia was traveling southbound on Mule Road just north of Iron Gate Drive in the outside lane when the driver encountered the man lying in the roadway between the inside and outside southbound travel lanes. Well, you can't sleep there, sir. According to the preliminary investigation, the drivers attempted to swerve to avoid the man, but was able to do so. The undercarriage of the GMC Acadia struck the pedestrian, as it should have. The driver was not injured in the crash and remained at the scene to cooperate with the investigators. The pedestrian, identified as a 58-year-old Rockledge man, was transported to Vieira Hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. Well, at least he got to die in his hometown. He got to be comfortable. The circumstances surrounding why the man was in the roadway has not been yet released. The Highway Patrol says it's still under investigation. Well, if you want my honest-to-goodness opinion, and I mean this, I think that... What do you think is funny? If you want my honest-to-goodness, good, Christian, kind-hearted, caring, considerate, loving, benevolent opinion in the matter... I think he was a faggot that took too many ass shots of Fent and decided to go lay in the road to take a nap. I'm not accusing him of anything or accusing anyone of anything. I'm just saying I think that's what happened. It's either that or he just got back from Scottsmore where he was having sex with a horse after snorting crack. Well, you don't snort crack, you smoke crack. After smoking crack, sorry. I was so caught up in the moment, just like how he was with the horse, that I couldn't even help but mix things up, just like he did with the horse. You know, horse sex is really not, it's not where it's at. Not speaking from experience or anything, but it's just, it doesn't really set a fire in my passions, do you know what I mean? Like a fire in my loins. But you know what? I hear about a Brevard man who's setting fire to other things around here. Javion Hawkins, former Cocoa High star and ex-NFL player charged with arson in Brevard County. Javion Hawkins remains in custody at the Brevard County Jail on a $280,000 bond. You know, I'm pretty sure I've seen this motherfucker before. He graduated around the same time as me, so it wouldn't surprise me if I've seen him before. I may also be racist, but what would you know? And what would you care? Do you? Do you care? You didn't even care enough to stop that man from killing himself in Vieira. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe he was a remorseful pedophile, as I said before, and he just wanted to wait on the side of the road until it couldn't be anymore. Maybe he's setting an example for all these multicolored hair peoples. They always talk about, oh, I'm so suicidal, I hate this world, but they never do anything. This was a man of action, of will, of pure dedication. This man killed himself with intent. All of these fucking teal-haired, slit-wrist, multi-dye-eyed, nose-piercing, having, chain-rocking, bad breath, no teeth, swindle, fucking, jagged edge, grunge bitches have no dedication in their world. Right? Right? No dedication. No dedication, no will, and no intent. A lot like Javion Hawkins. These just, well, unlike Javion Hawkins, actually, they don't lack the intent, the willpower. This is a man of sheer commitment and will. West Melbourne, Florida, former NFL player and Brevard County native Javion Hawkins has been arrested and charged with multiple counts of arson after investigators say he intentionally set fire to several vehicles at his former workplace in West Melbourne. You know, I've seen a lot of people quit and say, I can't wait to get back at the business. I'm going to do some stupid shit. I'm going to spray paint the building. I'm going to set my boss's car on fire. I'm going to sleep with the goddamn secretary that told me I was nothing but a goddamn lowly janitor. But you don't do any of those things. You don't. Not just because you're a person of no commitment and no will, but because you're also not an ex-NFL star. You have no credentials to even make you want to set things on fire. You have nothing worth losing. The only people who do things are people who have things worth losing. Think about that. Think about that. Everyone else is not doing something. They're just dying or living. That's it. Yeah, they're robbing because they had no other option, but they're dying. This is not dying. $280,000 bond is I hate myself. There is no good intent behind this. Well, maybe. Okay, let's not say no good intent. Let's not say no good intent. I do like to play benefit of the doubt a little, or play devil's advocate a little bit. And with the amount of fire he used, who knows? Maybe the devil was his advocate in this moment. Hawkins, 26, a former standout at Cocoa High School who later played at Los Angeles Rams during the team's Super Bowl. What the fuck is LV1? I don't even know fucking Roman numerals.
Level 1.
Bitch, no. Roman numerals. L is 50, V is 5, and I is 1. So, Super Bowl 56. Guess what? We're all learning something today, motherfuckers. We all learning something today, you little shitheads. Hawkins, 26, a former standout at Hawkins, 26, a former standout at Cocoa High School who later played at the Los Angeles Rams during the team's Super Bowl 56 season, appeared before a Brevard County judge on Friday following his arrest. According to the investigators, the fire occurred outside a lawn care business in West Melbourne where 3 pickup trucks were engulfed in flames. You know, those trucks did nothing to you. They did not. Why couldn't you be like my sister and just steal them? What the fuck is actually wrong with you? You couldn't steal them and repaint them and have a nice new fucking day and put a new tag on it? You can't just be like these goddamn other degenerates around here and save a little bit of money? Do you have that much money from your NFL deals? Come on, Javion. Did you make that much money from the Rams? Because what it sounds like is you're a former NFL player. At the age of 26. Washed up, had been used at the age of 26. That's probably why you're setting stuff on fire here in Brevard, because those NFL contracts aren't really doing anything for you. I'll set fire to my brain, watch it burn, 'cause I'm from Brevard now. Yeah, you know, I'll say one thing. Brevard people are retarded, and they love to set, well, I guess this is 2 things. Brevard people are retarded, and they love to set things on fire. This is... I'm just, the thumb is just there. It's like when I stick it in your ass. It's one of those moments where it's just there. It's not really like intentional. It's just 2 fingers and then you just, okay. You got 1 finger wrapped around the front on the clit. You got 2 going in the back and you right on the thumb and then you just, you know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn right. Shit I do with your mama. According to investigators, the fire, oh wait, hold on. Authorities said the blaze was also spread to the exterior of the company's building, causing additional damage. Police said the investigators led detectives to Hawkins through surveillance footage and witness statements. However, officials have not publicly released the surveillance videos. Hawkins is currently facing multiple arson charges and remains custody on a $280,000 bond. All I'm saying is he's definitely getting a thumb in the ass right now. There's going to be no mercy. He gets a thumb in the butt. It is what it is. And you know the worst part is? There's no lube. There's not even any water. It's all burnt up. You burnt it up in the trucks. You burnt up all those poor lawn care workers' Zyn pouches. You burnt up all their mid-work lube pouches that they bring so they can jerk off in the porta potties while they're out there. You burnt up these guys' monster cans that they left in there overnight so that way they could go in there first thing in the morning and actually be able to have a good caffeinated drink before a long day. You've destroyed many things, Javion. Not only did you destroy your NFL prospects, but you destroyed 3 good pickup trucks. And you set back this lawn care business. How dare you? There's so few lawn care businesses here in Brevard. There's only like 2 of them. And now you've taken out one of them. Now there's only like 1 lawn care business. What were you thinking, Javion? What were you thinking? He wasn't thinking about shit, goddammit. You know why? Because if he was actually thinking about shit, he would have saved some of that moisture for his butthole. Port Canaveral cruise passengers with warrants arrested by Brevard County deputies. These people, they didn't need to save lube for their buttholes. They were coming off of the cruise. They were still lubricated. Fully lubricated. They got brought into the jail, I'm fairly certain, with lube still dripping from them. And if it wasn't lube, it was salt water, which is virtually the same as long as you are willing to make things work. You know what I mean? Whether you're from Florida or Alaska, if you come to Brevard County and break the law, or in this case have a warrant, you better believe that we will lock you up. We really don't have anything better going on in this county. It's not like we can stop any of the arson cases. It's not like we can stop any of the murder cases. And it's not like we can stop any of these drug trafficking situations going on. We're only due for post. Several cruise passengers expecting to begin or end vacations at Port Canaveral instead of... Oh, excuse me. Ow. And vacations at Port Canaveral instead found themselves in handcuffs after Brevard County Sheriff's Office deputies arrested multiple people on outstanding warrants and probation-related violations. You know, she seems pretty, She's ugly. He's too young for me to make a comment on either way. Jesus Christ. All right, here, let's see. According to Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey, deputies made several arrest warrants. Here, let's get to the names. Among those arrested were Martell Murray of Georgia, fuck the state of Georgia, and Kendira Burney of Leon County, Florida. And then, who is this third bitch? This light-skinned girl. Who is this light-skinned girl? Veronica Hamlet. That is a very light-skinned woman name. Veronica is a light-skinned woman name. That's the truth. You know, I thought this was going to be a couple situation. That's why I paired these two articles together. 2 suspects arrested in Brevard County following child sexual abuse material investigation. Now, I'm not saying I paired this up so that way it's like couple activities, but I'm pairing it up because it was couple activities. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to go on a cruise, why don't you get arrested together? If you're going to look at child pornography, why not get arrested together? If you're going to traffic children, why not get arrested together? If you're going to be a politician and commit fraud, why not get arrested together? I think that couples who commit crimes together stay together, and even if they don't stay together, couples who commit crimes together, they fight a whole hell of a lot more for each other than any other couple does. Let me tell you what, if me and this woman right here were trafficking meth to the underbelly of society, we would be so much closer than even we are now. I need it to be clear. You can stick your tongue inside of someone and you will never be closer to them than when you commit a crime with them. It doesn't matter if you've impregnated that person. It doesn't matter if you've been impregnated by that person. The only thing that matters is that you've either killed someone with this person, stolen something from people with this person, or trafficked something with this person. That is all that matters in a relationship in this world. Are you willing to commit crime with your partner and then say, "Oops, I don't know what happened"? That's a good relationship. That is a high quality relationship. I learned from Hill and Bill. Those are my idols. If I was going to learn from any couple in this world on how to keep a relationship going long, strong, and steady, Hill and Bill. 2 suspects arrested in Brevard County following child sexual abuse material investigation. Kind of like Hill and Bill. As some of you may recall, a few weeks ago, our team was out on Luciano Avenue in Cocoa, where our SWAT team assisted agents with our internet crimes agent against child task force. What the fuck are these names? They are way too long for me to even say. We need fun acronyms. We need something like SWEAT and sneaker and stab. Like fun names, fun acronyms that can be turned into things. Now, the team ultimately... Wait, hold on. Where was I at? Where our SWAT team assisted agents from our Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force in executing a search warrant. The team ultimately received several tips from the partners at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, NCMEC, NCMEC. Now, I'm not saying you can't say NCMEC, but I'm saying that you should really look at your skin tone when you say NCMEC, and should you be saying it with a little bit of extra k at the end, or can you just go k, like NCMEC? You know what I mean? Does it end with an A? NCMEC. That seems a little racist. Just seems a little racist saying NCMEC. Can you say Nick? Is the name Nick still allowed? No, I know, it's crazy, but is the name Nick still allowed in reasonable society anymore? Because that implies that there is Nick, Nick-er, and Nick Est. Look, Nick Mech, and I'm trying to think of Nick-er and Nick Est and Nick, and I'm just trying to be considerate. Agents quickly discovered the targets were not currently at the address and were at a wooded area off Port St. John Parkway. Deputies and agents responded to the woods and quickly located the suspects and were able to seize electronic devices they had in their immediate possession. After obtaining search warrants for the blah, 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 blah. 1 count of possession of an image or video of sexual activity. 2 counts of possession of material depicting sexual conduct by a child. Michael Atkins was also charged with 10 counts of possession of material depicting sexual conduct by a child. You know, I just want to say, this is one of those moments where it's like, it's fun to see a couple do things, but it is sad to see when they can't stay on the same page. She had like a couple items, he had 10 items. I feel like maybe they were a little bit more ranged with their extremities, and they're just, maybe they should have communicated that beforehand. Communication goes a long way. Communication does go a long way in this world. If you don't communicate, how will you ever find your soulmate? If you do not learn to communicate, how will you ever find your soulmate? This is the truth of love. What will you do in your free time if not communicate? That's what all good relationships do. They just sit there and talk. And I think a good relationship, sometimes you don't even need to sit there and talk. Sometimes you just sit there right across from each other and you just stare right into each other's eyes. And you just stare. And you keep staring. And you stare some more. And then when you both feel really uncomfortable, you stare a little bit more. And then you start to read each other's minds. And that's where communication just becomes beautiful. It becomes ascended. Do you know what I mean? Something like an angel. Like when an angel communicates with you, or when a demon communicates with you, or like when AI communicates with you. You know what I mean? Something higher than yourself, something that's communicating on a level that we can't even comprehend quite yet. But all I know is, how will you find yourself and how will you find the love of your life if you don't communicate? Hell, how would we have found this man here in Titusville if it weren't for the flock cameras communicating with us? Daytona Beach homicide suspect found dead after vehicle crashes in a Titusville pond. No officers used deadly force during the incident, allegedly. All I'm going to say is, we've had flock cameras up for 7 months. Nobody likes them, and they've only caught 2 people who were coming in here from out of county. They didn't catch our Titusville chief of police in a rollover crash and have any information on that. They didn't catch the 2 suspects shooting on Thomas Street, by the way. I'm going to cover a lot of this other stuff next week. I'm sick and I'm sorry if I'm just bullying through stuff. It may not be as funny as you want and all that shit, but I'm trying to get the flock out of here so that way they don't get too many of my details. Because they're going to figure it out. They're going to figure it out. No one I have spoken with enjoys the flock cameras, and there was one person who posed the one question that everybody who's a goody-goody poses. If you're not doing anything wrong and you're not thinking of doing anything wrong, why would you be uncomfortable with somebody watching you? My thing is I've had this on me the entire time. Why do you think I've been hidden? Let me show you guys a little something. This is what your government wants. You see, I'm being recorded, I'm being recorded, I'm being recorded, and I'm being recorded. This is what is desired of flock cameras at the end of it all. And you know what's funny is we're all going to be revolting against flock. We're going to be tearing down flock cameras, and there's another couple AI companies that are coming up right behind flock that are going to be like, well, you see, they tore down flock cameras. There are terrorists here. We need to implement these even stronger cameras with a better AI, and then they're going to have an AI You know, I also read somewhere that allegedly these flock cameras have a secondary camera watching the flock camera post itself. That's not the point. That's not the point. Daytona Beach homicide suspect found dead after vehicle crashes in a Titusville pond. Damn. He couldn't even just make it over the bridge for that dip. He wanted to go for a swim and he couldn't even make it over the bridge. Daytona Beach homicide suspect found dead after vehicle crashes in Titusville pond. You can't park there, sir. No officers used deadly force during the incident. No, they saved it all for the young black kids whose arms they break and little Spanish boys who they deport. Titusville, Florida, a 54-year-old man wanted in connection with a Daytona Beach homicide investigation was found dead Monday after fleeing from Titusville police and crashing into a pond at Sandpoint Park, authorities said. Well, was it a crash? Wait, hold on. Not was it a crash. It's crazy to see the older generations crash out over things. I'm not saying that this isn't flocked up or anything, but it seems like he's crashing out. Did I use those? I used those right? I did it right? I did it? I did the term thing? Hell yeah. Colloquial terms, baby. The Titusville, by the way, this is just in front of Max Brewer Bridge. For any of you who come out and see the launches, for any of you fucking local losers who don't know where this is, as you're on your way over Max Brewer Bridge to go to the nude beach, you're gonna take a look down left, Sandpoint Park, right there. That's where this man died. Sorry, I saw my neighbor running outside. We had some issues with one of our neighbors that I'm gonna be going into a full explanation of later. That's also why I'm not trying to stay too much on this. I'm like exhausted from earlier having to deal with my family and neighbors. Y'all, it's fun living in a small town. The Titusville Police Department was notified by Volusia County law enforcement on July 27th that Robert Reyes Jr. was believed to be driving a gray four-door Toyota sedan within the city. Using the department's network of automated license plate readers, police tracked the vehicle from northern Titusville to the southern end of the city and then back north. Also, I didn't even answer the question about why it's bad to have these cameras up for the good people. It's not necessarily bad that they're just watching you go to Publix. It's not necessarily bad that they're watching you go to Home Depot. There was cameras there to begin with. It's that they're watching you on the back roads. It's that they're watching you go to bars. It's that they're watching you go to your friend's house. They're monitoring, like they're putting them in neighborhoods to monitor into the neighborhoods. It's not just about it's not just about them putting it in school zones. And the thing is we have a lot of schools within residential areas, as most cities do. And so what happens in the off season when they're not watching for school? They're watching the fucking neighborhoods. I said this 5 months ago when the flock cameras, before even the flock cameras were put up, that they were going to be abused and misused. And I talked about that on the last episode. I'm going to be talking about it on the next episode because I don't even want to keep I don't even want to keep going on that. We're just going to finish this off and I'm going to call it even because, don't get sick, motherfuckers. It is, what do the kids say? It's not the move. Getting sick is not the move. Officers located the sedan near South Washington Avenue and Garden Street attempted to conduct a traffic stop. Police said Reyes fled east along a Max Brewer Memorial Parkway before leaving the roadway and entering a pond in the Sandpoint Park. Due to the seriousness of the homicide investigation, Titusville police were joined by the Brevard County Sheriff's Office and Florida Highway Patrol while attempting to contact Reyes. They had the entire area blocked off. Authorities received no response from inside the vehicle. The TPD SWAT team subsequently approached the vehicle and found Reyes dead inside. No law enforcement were injured. Authorities said no officers used deadly force during the incident, allegedly. Titusville detectives assumed responsibility for death investigation. Okay, whatever. Preliminary evidence indicates that Reyes died from Holy shit. Sorry, the live recording ended over there. Preliminary evidence indicates that Reyes died from self-inflicted gunshot wounds, according to the police. Investigators also recovered a handgun from the vehicle. The medical examiner's office will make the final... No single agency can do it alone. Whatever. No single agency can do it alone. Today's public safety environment demands collaboration, open communication, and responsible use of technology. Communication, the very big thing that I talked about a moment ago. Isn't that right? The partnership between our law enforcement agencies, coupled with the automatic license plate reader technology, enabled law enforcement to quickly... You know what? Hold on, I don't even want to keep going into this. We're going to talk on this later. But the thing is, where was this 15 years ago when Jeffrey Epstein was trafficking people in this area, when he was going to Cocoa Village? Why is this technology, why are these flock cameras not being used to capture anything about the shootings that are going on? Why are they not being used to capture anything about these people who are abusing animals 2 doors down from me? Legitimately just had the fucking animal services over here because people like my fucking sister and this goddamn Domino family. By the way, fuck all of you. I'm going to talk about this shit the second I see real charges, and maybe even a little before or after then. But, by the way, to my sister, the Domino family, all of you Titusville people, Jazz, love you. Love you, love you, love you. Alex, you're not that bad. But I gotta say one thing. Y'all motherfuckers put a bad name on this town, and that is the truth of the matter. All of you put a bad name on this town. My sister and every last one of you. You're horrible humans. You're horrible, 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 horrible humans. And you're going to get mad at this. And you're going to be like, well, why did he do it on the pod? Well, fuck you. And I'm going to get messages from you. If you were a real nigga, you would be doing this shit in the streets. If you was a real street nigga, you would be doing... I promise you 3 things. And I promise you these 3 things with everything that I have in me, from God to the devil and everything that could be conceived in between. 1, this is one thing I know. Fuck you. Fuck you, you abusive, horrible people. Horrible, 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 horrible people. You had multiple... We're not going to go into that. Fuck you. 2, fuck my sister. I love you, but there is one thing that all of you are going to learn in this world, and there is rules to life, and there are rules to family. Rules to life are, I don't abuse animals, people. I don't go out of my way to call them names or offend them. Rule whatever in family is, when people tell you you're fucking up, you better start inflecting, because I promise you, once you... Sweet girl, love you. I hope and pray to God that each of you sees this and changes your shit, because I really do. And number 3, the third thing, this is the thing I know about each of you, including all you people here in Titusville. You are not shit. None of you are shit. This is an actual message to all of you here in Titusville. None of you are shit. None of you are shit, and you will not be shit until you reevaluate your life and become something that is not shit. You will be shit that attracts shit to die in your town. We have had 2 people in the last 4 months run away to this area during homicides, because we have family members who look out for people, and we have a hidden area off these back roads that people like to do things in, like Jeffrey Epstein, the Freemasons, and all these other fucking biker gangs and everything. NASA, they're kidnapping people. Like, you can come at me, try and sue me, whatever. I just don't give a shit anymore. Fuck you. Allegedly all of these things happen. My point is, I would love it if all of you just got the flock out of town, and then we built my big, beautiful Brevard wall. That's my thing. I think we should take all of these... What the fuck? There we go. There was one thing I wanted to cover before we gave up. I would love if every one of you degenerates got the flock out of Brevard, if they built my big, beautiful Brevard wall, and big bitches like this stop driving through areas while drunk, because I couldn't... This is not a woman. I'm so sorry. This is like the one time... Wayne Ivey, I don't agree with you on everything. I agree with you on this one. I'm not... Nigga, this bitch's head is built like a gourd. She looks like Chris Farley. She looks like Chris Farley. She looks like John Candy from Spaceballs. You remember the Mog? The half dog, half human thing? That's what this bitch looks like. Oh, airplane food. What's up with that? Sorry, I didn't mean to go Seinfeld on you. Oh my God, look at the size of her head. What's up with that? Big bitch got a piercing in right here. Holy shit. Looks like it should. You know what? None of this is segueing. None of this is making sense. I got sick brain and I have way too much to say that I just didn't come in organized with today. This was supposed to be just whatever. The point is, Wayne Ivey, I agree with you in this moment. So here, before I go and ruin this, we're going to read small excerpts from this so I don't over hate you again. And so I can relay this accurately. Hold on. Let me get into character for Mr. Ivey. Can you see the belly? Brevard County woman, Brevard, hold on. I feel like Sharpay in the High School Musical. Brevard woman arrested after hold on. What? God damn it. What? Brevard woman arrested after DUI. Wait, hold on. That's a woman? That is a woman? Sorry, I'm in his world right now. Brevard woman arrested for DUI after driving through traffic homicide investigation scene. Now, I set this episode up so that way it was like couples did this and couples did that. Well, actually, it was two single individuals, which is why they were completely sad and lonely and setting things on fire. And you're wondering, how does this woman have to do with the last guy? And how does this make it like a couple thing? So you remember the guy I just read about who died in the pond? This bitch drove through it. There was I need this to be clear. There is a man, I'm gonna make such a mess over here, and I'm so sorry for this. There is a man who went, bing. Come on, every episode I do this. Every episode I do this shit, it flips right back to normal. That's what happened to him. There, oh man. He drowned. He drowned. You see this? He drowned. Died. Drowned. And this bitch just came cruising along into the situation. Just cruising through, but drunkly. Just like that. Just like somebody spilled water all over the place. Please ignore that. Folks, if someone drinking and driving doesn't tick you off enough, try this one on for size. Try this one on for size. That bitch is too big to try on any sizes other than XXL. Jesus Christ. Try this on for size. She's going to break my back. Try this on for size. I like not dying. Try this on for size. I have 2 functioning femurs. Try this on for size. That bitch is too big for even fucking Hulk Hogan to try on for size. That bitch right there is too big for half Thorbjorn to try on for size. Do you know who Eddie Hall is? Way too big to try on. Whatever. How about being so drunk that you drive through a blocked roadway that's closed for a traffic homicide investigation? You know, I'm not even going to keep... Whatever. Deputies yelled to the driver, Lauren Anderson, to stop the vehicle, which had zero effect as she continued to drive right by them. Deputies ran after the car, eventually getting it to stop, at which time they noticed Anderson was sluggish, slurring speech, and struggling to get out of the vehicle. But I just wanted to go for a drive over the bridge. Deputies asked Anderson to perform roadside exercises, also known as the Drunk Olympics, which she subsequently declined to participate in. After being transported to the Var County Jail, Anderson agreed to the good old breath test, which she failed by blowing a .195 and a 209, which is of course 2 times the legal limit. That bitch was drinking. Let me tell you what. That bitch was putting down the pints. She was putting down the pints. She was fucking glugging. Glug, glug, glug. Mayor Gluggins. Now to make matters even worse, just before deputies encountered the vehicle, a citizen had called in a potential drunk driver in the same vehicle as they witnessed hitting a construction barrier along I-95. You know what? Free her. She wanted a first-hand experience to see our fucking beautiful Brevard County Sheriff's, Florida Highway Patrol, and Titusville Police working live in action. And all she got was ramrodded for having a... You're punishing this woman for enjoying a succulent Chinese meal while watching you commit an investigation? What good are any of our officers if they're not willing to support a hefty drunken woman through a homicide investigation? Disgusting. You know what? I would crash out too. I would crash out too. And on that note, I'm going to be signing out. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.